Hi, ladies and gents. How are you doing? I'm trying to get into my podcast voice, but you know, it is what it is. How have you been? It's been a while, right? I think it's been like a couple of weeks, maybe two, three. This is probably the third week. I don't know. I'm not really keeping track, to be very honest. I just hope you're doing great. How is the weather over there? I hear that the rains. I'm talking as I'm not in Nigeria. Oh, please. The rain has been heavy. Kamak Paro. The rain has been so heavy. It's just, I don't know. I'm grateful for the rain because the weather is really cool. There is no heat, but when are we going to have good roads in this country so that we can enjoy the rain? Because I promise you, if we actually have good roads and proper drainage, we will not complain when it rains. We'll be very thankful for the rain. We'll be so glad, so relieved for the rain to actually rain. Do you guys get what I'm saying? Because why is it raining and I can't go out because the road is flooded or the road is really bad, it's muddy, it's slippery? And you guys know I live in Ogun State. So it's even 10 times worse than Lagos with regards to the road. I mean, not the drainage. Obviously, Ogun State doesn't have drainage, just like Lagos. But the difference is that our gutters are not clogged with trash. So when it rains, you don't find all those plastic rubber bottles or whatnot on the road, right? What is clogging our gutters is sand, mud, sand, because the gutters have not been dug, if that's the word. Yeah, they haven't dug the gutters. There's no proper drainage system. So what is actually clogging the gutters? Mostly sand, not necessarily plastic or trash, which is interesting because I would think that for a place like this, you would mostly find plastic or trash, but I'm shocked. You actually won't. I think also because they have a culture of burning their trash, and because most people live in their own compounds, have their own houses, and there's like extra land in their compounds or a lot of space, so they have the culture of burning their trash rather than disposing it. So most times you wouldn't find trash in the gutter, but the road is extremely terrible, very terrible. One time I was going on my dad last week, I think it has to be last week Tuesday, and the road was really slippery. We're driving so slippery to the point where the cars swerved. That's how bad it was. And we've had to live like that I moved here 9 years ago. So I imagine other people that have lived here longer, how much they have had to endure. And just keeps getting worse, and the government is not even bothered. So I completely relate with this rain thing, how everybody feels. But Lagos, please. Lagos is so dirty. What is that? I saw I saw plastic, I saw bottles, and this flooding issue was, I think it was worse in Lagos because the drains are clogged with rubbish. So everywhere was just flooded. Like places I never thought to get flooded. I saw water and I'm like, it needs to be fixed for real, because this is it's fast becoming a problem and an environmental problem. So if a state is constantly polluted, doesn't have proper drainage, just begin to imagine the amount of bacteria or fungi or whatnot this is harboring, and how much that can contaminate food, living spaces, and the kind of sickness that people are going to have. So it actually is a cause for concern, but I'm pretty sure the government will I hope they will do something about please, we all know. Anyway, that is not what we're here to talk about today on this episode. I have so much I want to share, but I think I'm in a I just gave birth, so I'm trying to hide my child phase, where it's like I so badly want to share the cute pictures of my babies with you, but at the same time I'm trying to protect them because like I don't want you guys to see my kids. So a lot of things have happened in my self-imposed hiatus from the podcast. Also, let me just start with the most recent one, then maybe from there I'll go into other ones, the ones that I feel in my head that I can share with you. So on Monday, I actually lost my job. Well, the thing is, I have two jobs. And I lost one, which was really painful because I had put in so much work the last 7 months, dedicated my time, my energy, my strength, everything. And then there was no notice. There was no, we have to relieve you of your duties in 2 weeks or anything like that. It was just Monday morning, I got a text and I was like, what is this? So it was just abrupt. It wasn't expected. I didn't do anything bad. I had worked the previous week. I had done all my tasks. Like, I was really phenomenal at my job. I'd been complimented the previous week. Oh, you did a fantastic job. Wonderful. Well done. And then Monday morning, I wake up to your services are no longer needed. Text. I'm like, where is this coming from? I didn't get any explanation. And to be very honest, I don't want it. I don't need closure. Closure is overrated to an extent. So I just didn't. I just moved on. I felt bad. No, initially I didn't feel bad. I just said, oh, it's one of those things. Life has happened. But as the day progressed, I started to feel really bad. And at some point, I actually cried. And I was like, why am I feeling so sad? I'll tell you why. Because I started to feel like I didn't value my job when I had it. You know that thing where you feel like, oh, I didn't value what I had before I lost it? Yeah, that's how I felt. Like I didn't value my job. I started to feel like maybe I wasn't grateful enough that I had a job. And yes, my job stressed me. I won't lie. So I often complained. I was pissed sometimes. I was like, I'm tired of doing all of these things. It's stressing me out. But I loved my job. If there is anything, Shinaba, I'm very passionate about what I do and my field of work. I tell people that I'm literally living out my passion. How interesting is it to to follow your passion and get paid for it? That's exactly my life. Obviously, sometimes I felt stressed, I felt burnt out, so I did complain sometimes, but I still love my job. And just getting sacked like that, like I didn't mean anything, or not me, my work didn't mean anything, or my work was not a great contribution, a great value, or a great addition to the project, was like, wow. So I started to feel bad. I started to blame myself, self-blame. And it was like, oh, yeah, it's because you're not thankful enough. It's because you didn't thank God. It's because you're always complaining. But you know what? Maybe not. Maybe not. Because by the time I got to Tuesday, in the morning, something interesting happened. So on Tuesday, I went for my clearance now, my NYC clearance. And the moment I was there, I got a text from my other job. I work in a startup studio, startup growth agency, and we work with startups. And so I have some brands that I manage that have been assigned to me, and I was managing one in particular. And so I heard, oh, they pulled out and we're no longer working with them. I'm like, why is all of these things happening? Like, why are these things happening to me? What's going on? Did I offend somebody? Am I just in a very bad space in my life? What's going on? And to be very honest, I felt really bad. I started to panic because I felt like maybe there's something I'm not doing right, and it had nothing to do with me. Them pulling out actually had absolutely nothing to do with me, right? But I still felt bad because that's almost 2 years of my life's work dedicated to that brand. So it's like, I don't know how to separate the creative how to separate the work from the person. So it's almost like my work is an extension of who I am. And so a lot of times when there's a hitch in my work, it affects my person. I don't know. I haven't gotten to that place where I'm able to separate the work from the person, right? So when my work's not going well, it affects me as a person. So I felt bad. I started to panic because I felt like I'll be out of a job. Like, what will I do? So later on during the day, I then spoke to my colleague and she was like, oh no, I'm not out of a job, that they have reassigned me to another brand, which is really a relief. And that's when I started to think. That's when my brain started to clear up and I started to think, and I was like, maybe this is a silver lining. Maybe it's not as bad as I actually think it is, because for the last 2 years I haven't had time for myself, for my personal growth, for the courses that I want to take, for my own social media pages. I mean, I had started sharing content, creating content, and I put a pause on it because I just didn't have the time. I couldn't stretch myself thin to give more of myself to myself, if that makes any sense. Right? I couldn't really be there for myself. I felt stuck. I felt stuck for a very long time, burnt out, stressed. And so I started to think about it. Maybe this is actually a silver lining. Maybe this is what I need, or this is what I have needed for the longest time, a break. Because now I have at least extra hours. So let me say I have more time now to focus on myself, to take my courses. I have courses I haven't even started, to take them, to get certified, to improve my skill set, probably transition, because I've been trying to transition into comms fully, because that's really what I like. That's really what I want to do for the rest of my life. Hey, I found my passion is wild, and I think it's a silver lining. So I've just been thankful in a way. I've been thankful to an extent, like, let me not lie, or not to an extent, but I've been glad because that has it has afforded me more time to think about myself and also to think about the company I'm building. I need to dedicate enough time to my projects, my passions, to me, to my skill set, to my career. I need to ensure that I'm advancing, I'm not just stuck somewhere. So I kind of saw it by the end of Tuesday, as a silver lining where I have more time for my classes. I'm currently taking a class, a 2-month intensive course, and I started it on Monday. And I'm really glad, because if I was still working my 2 jobs, and if I still was working with the other brand that had pulled out, I wouldn't have had the time for my courses. This particular course needs me to dedicate at least 5 hours every day. So if I was still working all the busy jobs and everything, I don't think I'll have time for it. And I really, really, really want to take this course, graduate from this course, and be certified so I can take the next one. Like, it's so important for me to do that. And so I think it's a silver lining. I felt really bad. I had put it out, but I wasn't really expressive about it. I just put out one tweet, just one short tweet. And I saw a lot of messages that people had sent me, but I didn't respond to them because I didn't feel like I was in a place to do that. I had so many things running through my mind. But now I think I'm in a better place to do that. And I'm thankful. I hope that one day I really be able to share my career story, because there's just so much that has happened to me, and there's just so much I have seen since I started working in this field, and there's just so much to unpack. So that's that for career. That's that for where I'm happy. I'm actually okay. I'm thankful. I'm at peace. I have so much work to do on myself. And so that's a bit exciting for me. And I'm just really glad that now I have the time to do it. Even though my income has drastically reduced by 50%. I'm not even capping. So I'm a bit scared, because with the economy, I don't think I should be having an income reduction. I should be having an income increase, right? But I trust God. I trust that He has carried me through all seasons, and He will still keep carrying me. Now, on to the next thing that I've been contemplating sharing. I wouldn't share one major thing. I'm trying to keep it for when it actually materializes, then I will share it. But my media company has actually been involved in a lot of partnerships this year, which is something that we've been praying for and we've been working towards. And I just thank God we secured one major partnership, which I said I'll share later. But like the other ones, having to work with artists and now being involved in their post-production, which is like when their song drops, having to do music promotions for them, write press releases, do pre-promotion, pre-release promotion, release promotions, and post-release promotions. Actually very interesting. It's something that we have worked the last 4 years for. We're currently 4, which is wild coming in the 4th year, but still I think I'm thankful. I don't think I am, because I don't think we were better equipped 3 years ago. I think this year we're more equipped to do all of the projects that we have actually bagged. It's exciting, and I'm just really thankful. I can't wait to really go into detail and to break down. And I probably will not do it on my podcast, because I think the company wants to do it on their own channel and their own space. But I will try to share as much as I can. But I think I'm in a good space when it comes to my business and my career. I hope that I am. Yeah, that's everything, to be very honest. These are all the things that I've been holding very close to my chest for now. I really hope that you're doing great. I hope that the weather really is just really chill for you. I, on the other hand, am having a good day. Today is a good day. Let me just say that today is a good day. Oh, and good news. My podcast is finally available on YouTube. So there is no video, but there is audio video. So you can actually listen to the Selfscape podcast on YouTube. Selfscape podcast on YouTube, because there's no D. So you can actually listen to the podcast on YouTube, or tell your friends that listen to podcasts on YouTube that there is a podcast they can listen to. So yeah, catch the Selfscape pod on YouTube or wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. I'm there 1000%. Until next time that I see you, which will definitely be next week by the grace of God. Stay safe, take care of yourself, listen to good music, and be good. Bye y'all.